We're live. So good morning, everyone. If you're joining me live on this sunny Sunday morning, a little bit late going live this morning. So forgive me if you were waiting around and thinking, where is she? Just made it. So today I'm going to take you, as always, through a nice, gentle class that's going to wake you up, wake your body up, but it's not going to be anything too strenuous at all this morning. I'm sorry if the light keeps going, bright and dark. It's the sun going behind the clouds. So I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. It's just my normal computer webcam that I'm coming through. So sorry about that, you guys. But we'll start this morning lying down on our backs. We're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, so reclined cobbler's pose. So feet together and just allowing the knees to fall out to the side and then making your way down to a lying down position. As always, if this isn't a very comfortable position for you to be in for a long time, you can use blocks underneath your knees or some cushions underneath the thighs just to... Oh, good morning. Good morning. You can use some cushions underneath the knees, and that just provide a little bit of support just while you're lying down. If at any point it gets a little bit too uncomfortable, you don't like it, you can always just bring your knees back together. It's all good. This is just a nice passive way to open the hips. So you're just using gravity to open the hips in this posture. And just bringing the shoulder blades under the back so the chest is nice and open. We'll tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is nice and long. I've got a big bun in the back of my head today, so a little cushion for my head. And just close your eyes. And just allow the hips to soften. And just take a moment to get settled in. So just breathe in your normal breath rate. So I'm not changing how you're breathing right now. And just drawing your focus into the body. So just noticing the heaviness of the body right now as you're lying on your mat. Just allowing the entire body to melt. So just check in the forehead, just checking that's nice and soft and relaxed. Check in behind the eyes. Can you soften the muscles behind the eyes? Softening the muscles in the face, the cheeks. Can you soften the ears? Softening the lips, the jaw. Softening the tongue. Just checking the shoulders are soft. Just notice that even when we're lying down, we can still hold tension in the shoulders and in the body in its entirety. Just taking this time to have a look around your body now. See if you can find any other bits of tension. And can you release? Maybe if you're in your Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe you're holding a bit of tension in those hips, especially if you're tight in the hips. And can you let that go? And drawing your awareness now to your breath. And hopefully as you're lying down, you're going to be taking some belly breaths. So the breath is going to be more in the abdominal area. For most people, when we're lying down, this is the area that we're likely to breathe when we're relaxed. And can you just start to lengthen the breath now? So just take in a big inhale, filling the abdomen, and then a long exhale as the abdomen falls. And now to really find some relaxation, we'll take a deep inhale. When you're at the top of that inhale, inhale again. And then a long exhale. We'll do that again. Inhale fully. Inhale again. And a long exhale. One more inhale. Inhale again. And a long exhale. So return to normal breathing for a moment. And notice any changes in the body. And bringing the hands to the outside of the thighs. If those legs are still wide, slowly, slowly, we're going to help those legs back together. And bring the knees into the chest. And give yourself a cuddle. Maybe a little rock from side to side. You wake up the lower back. Just a little massage into the lower back. And let's interlace fingers in front of the right shin and send the left leg out towards the bottom of the mat. Your chance to hover the leg. By hovering the leg, you're just going to wake up the core a little bit more here. Or you can drop that heel down to the mat. Maybe some rotations with the ankle, both ankles if you want. Rotating the opposite way. Maybe adding some movement to that right thigh. So drawing it across the body. And then back out towards the armpit. Just noticing how your hip feels. Just really getting into those hip flexors. The front of that right hip. Draw the knee in. Lift the shoulders off the mat. If that heel was down, lift the heel up. And see if you can press the lower back into the mat. And just waking up the core. Option to release that right leg, just reaching the arms high. And we'll hold for 3. Squeeze for 2. 1. And as we exhale, lowering back down, bring that left knee in and give yourself a squeeze. Interlace fingers in front of the left shin and send that right leg towards the mat. Okay, maybe we're just hovering that foot, or we've got the heel down. And again, maybe you want to make some rotations again through the ankles. You can keep your eyes closed here if you wish. Just really noticing the movements of the body from the inside. And again, let's draw that left thigh in and just make some movements with that left thigh. Almost like a rainbow movement just across the body. Just getting into those hip flexors again. Noticing if the left side feels a little bit tighter than the right side, or vice versa. No judgment, just noticing. And again, we'll pull that left thigh in nice and tight. Lift the head and shoulders off the mat. So the lower back is really grounding now onto the mat. Lift that right heel up. Squeeze everything in. And again, your option to release the leg. Send the hands to the sky and use your compression strength to pull that left thigh in. We'll hold for 3. A little bit of core work. For 2. And 1. Exhale, release. Pull both these back into the body. And drop the feet onto the mat. Bring the hands by the sides of the hips. So you want the heels not too close to the body, depending on your anatomy. The good rule of thumb is just to the point where you could just touch the back of the heels. And we want the feet hips width apart or slightly wider. So just check those feet aren't together and check that the feet are parallel, so the toes aren't turning out or in this posture. Bring the shoulder blades under the back again. And I'm just going to lift up into a little bridge pose. Inhale as you lift those hips up. And nothing too crazy, not too high. Just a little stretch with the front of the hips. And exhale to lower down. And again, inhale, lifting up. Deep breathing. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up. See if you can squeeze those glutes at the top. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do a few more rounds. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. We're going to hold this one at the top. Squeeze the glutes. Just check the knees aren't starting to turn out to the side. Keep the knees over the ankles. Maybe interlacing the fingers behind the back. So taking it into a little shoulder stretch at the same time here. If it feels good. Pressing those hands down. Whether the hands are interlaced or not, just keep pressing them down into the mat. Find the connection between the feet and the mat. Can you find a good foundation through those feet. So really pressing all four corners of the feet down. Squeezing those glutes. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of fatigue. Pulling into those quadriceps. Just hold a little bit longer for 3. Deep breathe in. 2. And 1. Exhale, release the hands and lower all the way down to the mat. Let's hug the knees back into the chest. Take the arms out to a T. Bring the knees over the hips. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, just lower the knees just a little bit over to the left. Inhale, come back through center. Just check the lower back is connected to the mat. Exhale, come over to the right. Just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Inhale, coming back through center. Again, you're connecting the lower back as you come back through. Exhale, taking it to one side. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, over to the left. Maybe dropping the knees a little bit lower. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back through center. We're going to ground the knees this time. Exhale, nice and slowly with control. Dropping the knees over to the left. And dropping the head over to the right. A nice little twist. And a little stretch as well through the chest, into that right shoulder. Draw head back through center. Inhale to bring the legs back through center. You think about pressing that lower back down. And exhale over to the right, nice and slowly, nice and controlled. And dropping the head over to the left. Just relaxing, releasing, feeling the stretch in the body. Drawing head back through center. Inhale, draw knees back through center. And give yourself a squeeze. Let's bring the hands behind the thighs. And we'll rock forwards and backwards. Massaging the spine. Maybe you come to the sit bones, rock it back down to the shoulders. See if you can find a little bit of a hover. And on your next rock, rocking up to seated. So, working into the hips a little bit more. So we'll bring right leg in front of left leg. Sitting nice and tall. Take an inhale, open through the chest. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades down the back. And as we exhale, round through the spine. Tucking chin to chest. Inhale, send the heart forward, press the hips forward. Open the chest, lifting the gaze if it feels okay in the neck. And exhale. Round through the spine, the pelvis moves back, pressing through the shoulders. And again, inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, open through the chest. Stay open through the chest now. Pull the hips back and just start to work the heart forward. Stopping wherever feels comfortable in your hips. So maybe it's here. Maybe you want to take the hands forward and really stretch down over those hips. As we're doing this, I want you to be mindful that you're pressing through the balls of the feet. So adding a little bit of tension into the legs, protecting the knees. If the right leg is in front of the left, you're going to feel this more in the right hip. Again, just deep breaths here wherever you are, whether you're folded forward or you're here, this is all good. Just keep pulling the hips back and keep working on opening the heart. And lifting the gaze, take an inhale. And as we exhale, walking the hands over to the left. Again, so maybe you'll really fall forward, maybe not. Maybe this is you, this is all good. Again, just find where feels comfortable in your body. And remember, no day is going to be the same. So where you got to yesterday, you might not get to today, and vice versa. And coming back through center, we'll bring the left hand onto the right knee, bring the right hand behind the back, a little twist. Take an inhale, find length through your spine, and then exhale, twisting, and just gazing back over that right shoulder. Just try and stay nice and long in the neck. The chin is in slightly, so that'll keep the spine nice and tall rather than the chin sticking out. And just breathe between your shoulder blades. Coming back to center, bring the right arm over the left. And we'll take a wrap, take our eagle arms. Again, if you can't make the wrap, if your arms are just like this is all good. You're going to try to lift the elbows nice and high. Just getting into the upper back, into those muscles in the upper back and the shoulders. And take an inhale. And exhale, release. Switching the legs. So left leg in front of right leg now. And try and make it so that the front shin is parallel with the top of the mat. If it doesn't feel good, you can always sit on blocks here, cushions, towels, just to lift your hips up a little bit more. And again, let's start with those little seated cat-cows. Inhale, open the heart, lifting the gaze. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin comes to the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale to close. And again, just notice the tension and how it moves in your body. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So for me this morning, when I'm closing, I'm really feeling something going on in my right hip, on the right side of my back. Inhale, open. And again, we're going to stay here. So again, find where it feels good for you. Option one is just to stay here. Maybe you can already feel this working into your hips, into your glutes. Or maybe you want to move forward. Maybe you want to take it a little bit deeper. Nice deep breaths wherever you are. And just trying to relax. Use that exhale. Lengthen that exhale. And as always, just check in. Tension hasn't crept into the jaw or into the forehead. That's something I always have to be careful of, especially if I'm working on the hips, that my jaw doesn't tense up. And again, inhale to lift your gaze, and exhale to walk the hands over to the right. And again, maybe you're a little bit upright like this, maybe you're a little bit lower, maybe you're feeling this through the lower back, the side body. Maybe you're feeling it more in that left hip. One more breath here. And inhale, coming up through center. Coming into a twist, right hand on that left knee, left hand behind the back. Inhale to find length. And exhale Twisting and gazing back over the left shoulder. Again, just be mindful of your posture here. So making sure that the spine is nice and tall. The chin is in slightly, the neck is nice and long. Deep breathing into the shoulder blades, into the upper back. On your next inhale, coming back to center, bring that left arm around over the top of the right arm, and we'll wrap the arms again for eagle arms on the other side. So again, just finding where feels comfortable in you. And again, depending on the day, maybe you can make it so that the palms touch, maybe not, maybe that doesn't happen. So again, just forgiving yourself every day, every time you come to your mat, just knowing that it might be a little bit different and it's all good. Start to lift the elbows if you're going well. And again, just notice how this subtle movement just changes the posture, just changes where you feel your tension. Maybe you're lifting the gaze, looking up to the tip of the left hand. And slowly, slowly release. Take the arms out to the side, take an inhale. And as we exhale, drop the head over, doesn't matter which side, left ear to left shoulder, or right ear to right shoulder. Maybe walking those opposite, whichever way you've taken your head. So for me, it's to the left, so taking the right fingertips out. Maybe lifting the arm up slightly, reaching through those fingertips. And lowering the arm if you lift it, bringing the head back through center, and dropping it to the other side. So right ear to right shoulder. Releasing that tension. And again, maybe you're walking those fingertips out, the left fingertips. Maybe you're lifting the left arm. And see if you can really relax the shoulders here. So soften them away from the ears. And release the arm, bring the head back to center, inhale. And as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Just allow that heaviness of the head to stretch the upper back. The shoulders. And inhale, lifting the gaze if it feels okay. Taking the head right back. And looking up to the sky, to the ceiling. And on your next inhale, bringing the head back through center. We're going to come into our downward facing dog. So just swinging your legs around. Take the hands forward and step the feet back. And we'll find that downward facing dog. So pedaling through your legs. Always nice to pedal through the legs in our first downward facing dog. Again, always nice just to reconnect with how your body feels. Maybe dropping the hips over to the left. Really pressing the right hand down. And just feeling that nice stretch through your side body. Bringing the hips back through center. Dropping them over to the right. And again, really press the left hand down. See if you can find length through the left side of the body. And bringing it back through center. And finding length through your spine. So as always, bend your knees as much as you need to find that stretch through the shoulders. And you're really elevating the shoulder blades here. So really pressing hands into the mat. Almost trying to bring the arms towards the ears or towards the head. And then roll the triceps under. That'll create space around the shoulders, around the neck. And we'll walk the hands towards the feet. And we'll find forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Soften the neck, soften the head. Think stomach to thigh connection. Shift the weight into the balls of the feet slightly. And then if you're going well, you're starting to lift your hips towards the ceiling. Lift in your center of gravity. You can take hold of the backs of the ankles if you're going well, or the backs of the calves. Maybe if you're really tight in the hamstrings, continuing to pedal through the legs here. And slowly, slowly we'll make our way up to standing. So softening the shoulders, the arms, allowing them to hang as you come all the way up. And as we inhale, we'll take the arms high, reaching through those fingertips. Exhale, folding forward into our forward fold. Head comes into the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine. Maybe your halfway lift is here. This is fine. And exhale, coming back into that forward fold. Root through the feet. Inhale to come all the way up. Take the arms nice and wide. Full extension through the spine. Reaching through those fingertips. And as you exhale, taking the arms wide as you come back down. Pull the shoulder blades together and down the back into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold again. Ground through the feet. Inhale, rising all the way up. Reach in, maybe palms touch this time. Maybe you add a little bit of a back bend. Hips forward, arching back. And exhale, folding forward again. And head comes in towards the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Root through the feet. Inhale to rise all the way up again. And reach, extend, maybe hips forward, maybe arch back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, walking the hands forward. Finding that downward facing dog once more. Let's raise our right leg towards the ceiling. Finding our three-legged dog. We won't be here long. Just find a little bit of strength through that extended leg. So really trying to squeeze your quadriceps, lifting your kneecaps and press back through that right heel. Just check the toes are pointing down and just check that you're not leaning out to the left. Try to keep equal weight in those hands. Try to press back through that left thigh, that left hip. You're stretching that left hamstring. Maybe the heel is lifted. If you're really tight in the hamstrings, it's all good. Then coming onto the ball of that left foot. See if you can lift that right leg a little bit higher. Again, keep the hip closed, the toes point down. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, bending that right knee round through your spine, pulling that knee through towards the chin, and dropping the right foot between the hands. Good. As we come into pyramid pose or pyramid variation, so just straightening that right leg as much as you can. If you have blocks, you can use blocks either side of the body here. The chest is nice and open and we're pulling that right hip back. Really feeling that stretch through the right leg. Maybe adding a little bit of movement in those hips, so swinging hips, left to right. Bending into that right knee. So right knee is over the ankle now. We may need to reposition that back foot and hopefully feeling a nice release through the front of the left hip. Let's plant the left hand down. Again, if you have blocks, left hand can stand a block, is all good. And we'll reach the right arm high as we take a little twist. And really try to pull the right shoulder blade onto the back. So opening through the chest and still pressing back through that left heel. So find strength in that left leg. And creating a bit of energy in the body, a bit of heat by engaging the muscles. Take an inhale. As you exhale, reach right back with that right hand. Swing it all the way back around to the top of the mat. And we'll step the right foot back to meet the left in our downward facing dog. Left side. So raising your left leg now to the ceiling. Well, not to the ceiling. It's not about how high we can get that leg. If it was, we'd be opening the hip, we'd be trying to reach that foot high, but we're keeping that hip closed. So the left hip dropping down, the toes point down, press back through that left heel. So find the strength through that extended leg. At the same time, you're pressing back through that right thigh. And again, just check in that the weight isn't shifting over to the right. If you already tighten the hamstrings, maybe you're on the ball of that right foot. Maybe that right leg isn't straight, and that's fine. If you aren't on the ball of the foot, if that heel is dropped, come onto the ball of that foot. See if you can send that left leg a little bit higher. See if you can find that strength. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, bend that left knee around the spine to create space to bring that left foot through and drop it between the hands. Again, if it's available. If it doesn't quite make it, if you're landing here, just step back foot through, it's all good. Straighten that left leg. And again, we're in a pyramid variation. So a little bit of strength through the legs here as well. So try not to lock out the knee so much, so don't drive the knee back, but squeeze the muscles in the legs. And see if you can really work the heart forward while pulling that left hip back. And breathe. Nice deep breaths. A little bit of extra work in that back leg, just really trying to send that right heel down. Just check your feet are pointing towards the top of the mat. So imagine the feet are on train tracks. Maybe that back foot is turning in. If it is, try and correct it so you're correcting the position in the hips. And again, we can be on blocks here. And bending into that left knee. Finding a high lunge. Again, you might need to move that right foot back a bit to get the hips as low as feels comfortable in your body. And just working through the front of that right hip. Also working into the hip flexors as well in the left hip. Try and find strength through the legs. So we're not just leaning into the hands. The legs are doing the work for us. If you lift the hands up, we should be cool, we should be fine here. Hands are just supporting us a little bit. And then coming into that twist. So right hand down and left arm reaches high. And again, think about pulling that left shoulder blade onto the back. As you do this, don't lose the work in the hips. Keep driving the hips low and keep strength through the legs, especially through that back leg. So really shooting energy out through the heel. Noticing your roots. So the left foot, the ball of the right foot, and that right hand rooting down. And your body rises out from those roots. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, swing that left arm back and round. Plant the hand. And we'll step the left foot back to meet the right in our downward facing dog.
step the feet wide as the mat. So a little bit more of a wide-legged downward facing dog. And walk the hands back towards the feet, bending through the knees. And we'll come to sit in our Malasana, our Yogi Squat, or a variation of. So as always, if squatting is a bit of an issue, maybe you're here, and this is fine. Just keeping the weight, a bit of weight in the hands, we're just working into those hips. It can help if you can't get the hips down or if the heels are lifted. It can help just by heel toeing the feet a little bit wider. That can get the heels down. If you're down, you can just move into your hips like I'm doing here. Just moving around. Again, no right or wrong, just go where your body feels it needs to go. So maybe a little bit of a figure of 8 movement through the hips here this morning. Or maybe just a little gentle rock from side to side. Or maybe you're saying, Karina, just being here is absolutely destroying my hips this morning. So you can be wherever you're at, it's all good. Just try to find comfort wherever you are and ease. And using that breath. If you're going well, elbows push now inside of those knees, bringing hands into prayer, and just trying to find length through your spine. So nice and open through the chest, especially if you feel that you're rounded coming into this posture. See if you can really try to open up through the front of the body. We're going to press into the outsides of the feet and see if we can lift the bum up a little bit. And that's going to engage the muscles around the legs, around the hips. It's going to make us work a little bit as well, make us sweat. I say it all the time, but if you want to heat the body up quickly, anything using the legs and the glutes is the quickest, easiest way to warm the body up. Just focus on the big muscles. We'll hold for 3 more breaths. Good. 2 more breaths. Notice if the posture is changing. Notice if the tension is moving. 1 more breath. And release. Bring the bum to the mat if you can. Straighten the legs. Back to our seat. Let's come into a little bit of a wide-legged position. So we want the sit bones connected to the mat. So moving the glutes out from underneath the sit bones. Sitting nice and tall. Just stay here for a moment. Just finding length through the spine. Again, finding your roots. So the heels pressing down, the hips pressing down. Pull the toes back towards the body. So we've got some strength again through the legs. And just notice, just relax actually. Relax for a moment and just notice where your feet or your legs naturally go. Do they roll in? Are you quite tight in your adductors? So if you are, the legs are more likely to roll in. Or do your feet roll out? Again, maybe it's weak glutes. So just checking where naturally your feet like to go. And that can tell you a lot about your hips, a lot about your body. And then coming back to the neutral position. So the feet pointing towards the ceiling, the toes pulling back towards us, pressing out through the balls of the feet, finding length through your spine. Again, we can be on a block here. If you feel that the weight just shifts back and you can't get any kind of forward motion. And let's start to just move into these hips. So start to rock forwards and backwards. So just moving the pelvis around the leg joints. Again, just notice maybe there's clunking or clicking. It's all good. Clunks and clicks are fine. It's one of the things I get asked the most. And if you practice with me, you'll know my body clunks and clicks the most. out of anyone I know, and it's fine. I was always told it was just nitrous oxide escaping from the joints. Nitrous oxide, who'd have thought it? I think that's right. Anyway, I hope I'm not telling you incorrect information. It's some kind of gas that escapes from the joints, and it's totally fine. It's totally normal. Sometimes it's just anatomy, different types of anatomy. So we're going to come forward now as far as feels comfortable. Maybe a little roll from side to side. Again, I like to do this in my forward folds. I think it just frees up my hips a little bit more. And we'll just hold wherever we feel comfortable. You can have the ankles, the feet, or you can take the arms forward. And we're just going to hold. We're going to keep some strength through the legs. So press out through the balls of the feet, pull back on the toes, and drive the hips back, drive the heart forward. And breathe into those areas of tension that you're feeling right now. We'll hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly making your way back up. Let's bend the right knee. Now bring the heel towards the groin. So a nice little hip opener. If that knee is lifted quite a lot, you can put a block underneath that knee just to support it a little bit, or a cushion or a pillow. Or if you haven't got anything, any props, just be really mindful of your knee in this posture. I'm going to bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg and open the chest up. So you're trying to align the side of the body with that extended leg. So open the chest up to the ceiling, like you're a little ballerina. We're going to take the right arm overhead and just feel a nice stretch to the side body. If you feel the chest is collapsing towards the floor, you can bring that left hand across and take hold of the right knee, and that will just help pull the left shoulder under. So you're going to actively pull on that knee to pull the left shoulder under, and it will help keep that chest open. And then you're just going to start to reach out towards that left foot. And as always, it doesn't matter if you make it to the foot. The goal is not to take the foot. The goal is to just feel a nice release through your body. If you're down here and you're going super well, you can take the foot. If you can take the foot, you just work from here to open the body up towards the ceiling, maybe lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling. But don't take it too far. Just find what feels nice in your body this morning. For me, just using my elbow this morning and trying to keep my chest open, just really working into my lower back. It's feeling nice, feeling good as far as I want to go this morning. It's all good. We'll stay for a couple more breaths. Looking down on your exhale and inhale to make your way back up to seated. We'll straighten out that right leg, bend the left knee, and bring the left heel in towards the groin. So again, get comfortable. Use a block under that knee if you need to. That right leg is nice and strong. Again, finding where it feels good for you. That right hand can be dropped inside of the leg. You can have the elbow down, again, using the elbow against the leg. That just helps keep that rotation in the body. Or we can have that right hand reaching across towards that left knee, the left arm reaching overhead. And again, just finding where it feels nice for you. Just exploring different variations of this posture. Maybe you want to take that left hand behind, taking hold of the right thigh or the right hip. Maybe that feels nice this morning. It's working into a little bit of internal rotation in that shoulder. There's no right or wrong in any posture. And I encourage you to be creative in your yoga practice. If you're practicing at home alone, just be creative. You can't do anything wrong, really.
And even if you're worried, should I be breathing in or breathing out here? It doesn't matter. Just explore your inner space without paying too much attention to the rules. Allow the rules to come from your teacher in your own space. Not rules, but guidance. And then we'll slowly look down on the exhale and then come back up to seated. Let's straighten the legs. And let's bend the knees. A little bit more core work before we make our way back down to a lying down position. So we're going to roll onto the sacrum. So tuck your tailbone under, roll onto the sacrum. Release the knees. You're going to find the point that really makes you work. So lowering down. Keep pressing the feet down. Don't let them lift. And we'll hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly rolling all the way down with control, as controlled as you can, making that core work as you come onto your back. Take the arms overhead, straighten through the legs, take a nice stretch. And we'll bend the knees. Let's window wiper the legs. So take the feet out to as wide as the mat, and drop the knees over to the left. Bring them back through center, and take them over to the right. Back through center, over to the left. Through center, and over to the right. Back through center. Let's pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Release the feet onto the mat. We'll come into our Shavasana. Coming into Shavasana a little bit earlier. At the end of our Shavasana, we're going to do some pranayama, breathing exercise. So we're just going to come into Shavasana a little bit early. So as always, just take up space with your arms if you wish to cover yourself in your Shavasana with a blanket or a hoodie. You can go ahead. And again, just like we did at the start, just releasing everything to the earth, just relax completely. And just taking a moment to appreciate the stillness in your body. And like I was saying before, there is no right or wrong to the yoga practice. If you're paying attention to how you feel, if you're paying attention to your body and approaching any kind of physical movement with awareness and with compassion,
and with patience, then you're practicing yoga. And don't worry so much about how the posture looks or how it's meant to look. Just focus on what you feel inside. And just bringing your awareness to your breath. Start to deepen the breath. And when you're ready, just bring in some movement back to the fingertips and the toes. And maybe taking a deep stretch before you come out of your Shavasana. And drawing the knees into the chest and roll into your right hand side. Meeting me back in a comfortable seat. So again, we can be cross-legged, we can be on a block or a towel. If you find cross-legged is not a comfortable seat, then just find a comfortable seat. The most important thing is that the spine is nice and long. We're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. This is just going to realign our left and our right sides. If you find that one of your nostrils is blocked, then the nostril that we are closing with our fingers, just make it open a little bit so that you can get some air in. And hopefully the breath will clear a little bit, or the nostril will clear a bit as we go through the practice. So we're going to take Nasikagra Mudra. So you're going to bring the first finger, the index finger and the middle finger, and roll them in onto, so curl them in so they're just onto the spongy bit by the thumb. I'll move a little bit closer so you can see. And that leaves the ring finger, the little finger and the thumb out. And we're going to use these to block our nostrils. So we're going to use the thumb on the right nostril. We're going to use the ring finger on the left nostril. Okay. We're going to have our left hand in Chin Mudra. With the forefinger and thumb touching. Rest it on the knee. We always start with the breathing in through the left nostril. Some teachers teach it the opposite way around, but this is the traditional way. This is how I've been taught to do it, so this is how I'm going to teach you to do it. So I always do it as well in my own practice. So nice and tall through the spine. At the same time, when we're breathing in, we're going to make some movements with the body. So as we breathe in, we're going to lengthen through the spine, open through the chest, lifting the head up. And then as we exhale, we're going to round. So you're almost doing cat-cows at the same time as you're going through this breathing technique. Okay, so we'll have the eyes closed or not if you want to see what's going on. We're going to block the right nostril now with the thumb. And we're going to take an inhale for 4 counts. Inhaling for 2, 3, 4. Block the left nostril and exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left nostril. 2, 3, 4. That's one round. Let's add the body. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Block left. Exhale right. Round.
2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Block right. Exhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. 2 rounds. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Block left. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Block right. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. 3 rounds. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Block left. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Block right. Exhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Fifth and final round. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Block left. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Block right. Exhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Release. Hand comes to the knee. Nice deep inhale. Close the eyes. Return to normal breathing. And bring your hands into Anjali Mudra to our heart center. And bowing our head in love, compassion, acceptance, patience, and in service of others. Thank you for joining me this morning. Namaste. Oh, nice gentle yoga class. I hope you're feeling a little bit more open. It was a lot of hip work, bit of core work, nothing crazy, but lots of hip work in there today. So I hope your hips feel a lot better for it. I hope your body feels a lot better for it. And yeah, if you're joining me Zoom this week, we have a Vinyasa flow class on Tuesday and Ashtanga flow class on Thursday evening. So if you'd like to join either of those classes, do let me know. And that's pretty much it. As always, thank you for joining me. I do hope you enjoy these little YouTube classes that I've put out there. I've not been doing much recently, I know, since the Zoom classes came along, but there's still lots of videos, over 60 videos, I think, on my channel that you can explore. I'm only doing the gentle ones now on a Sunday, the beginner-friendly ones, but yeah, there are some hardcore ones if you want some hardcore ones as well. And yeah, hopefully it won't be long before we can get back in the studios. Oh, Eric. Oh, it's Jane. Hi, Jane. Oh, you made it. Oh, good stuff. I hope you're having fun down at Emma's. But yeah, thank you as always for joining me. It's an absolute pleasure to still be able to offer my teachings to you guys. So thank you for joining me and enjoy your Sunday. And I shall see you in the week. Namaste, namaste, namaste.